Tres Kitty Journey. All life is valuable from the moment of conception. However, when talking about the life of your pet, a special kind of meaning exists based on the bond that you've formed over time. Today, I will be talking about my journey over the past year with 3 special cats I've had the honor of calling mine. Now, let's start off with the twins. Well, I don't actually know if they're twins, but they looked almost identical and they were born of the same litter. Therefore, I'm calling them twins. They have matching gray stripes and greenish hazel eyes. The only difference was that the boy's pupils were a bit larger. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention, one was a boy and one was a girl, obviously. I got them when they were about a few months old, and they were very playful, as you can clearly tell. They were even inseparable at times. This might have been due to the fact that they were separated from their mom at a few days old and moved around a number of times in different environments before finally settling with us. Though they looked similar on the outside, their personalities differed greatly from the start. To be honest, this was probably the only way anyone could actually tell them apart, because they looked so physically alike. My boy, for example, was much more laid back and curious, kind of brave too, whereas his sister, on the other hand, was pretty clumsy and hyper and jumpy, to say the least. You can see some of these traits demonstrated in their oh-so-hardcore fighting skills and playing skills, I guess, if that's even a thing. Their constant playing and scampering actually brightened the house up a lot, though. Before they came into our household, my house was very quiet and serious. Both me and my brother were in high school and preparing for college. Therefore, we were kind of just focused on our studies. And my parents worked pretty much all day from 6 to 8 at night. So bringing them in really helped liven up the environment and brought joy to all of us. It's no surprise that my boy cat grew up loving the outdoors. He was constantly running outside whenever the door opened, whether in snow or rain. I thought cats were supposed to be afraid of water. What a weirdo. Over time, his sister began to calm down and warm up to me, especially. One of her favorite activities was to simply meet her comfort spot, snuggle up, and nap all day long, whether this be the blanket, bed, my chest, or back. However, one day, when I was at school, she was hit by a car. My world was shattered. Everyone in the house was shook, but we decided to get another cat soon after. We weren't trying to replace her, but rather to comfort both ourselves and her brother, as he was probably confused as well. I've caught him on more than one occasion checking under my bed, which is one of her favorite spots, to look for her. This new baby was actually given a real name, unlike the other two. Don't get me wrong, I called the twins by many cute names like Baby and Sweetie. They just never had an actual name the way Tweety does. I vowed to learn from my mistakes and to make her life as special and pleasant as possible. At first, she was not very welcomed, as you can see. He was very protective and territorial. However, over time, Tweety began to feel and act more at home. She loved to play just as they did when they were smaller, but now she was on her own. Real fighting soon turned to play fighting, and he slowly but surely taught her how to be a tough little cookie and became her friend. Now, they just spend their time lazing around the kitchen, and they creepily stare at you, whether you cook or eat. Most times, they stare at you while you're eating. You can't have any of that soup. Or, if they're not in the kitchen, they tend to be in the bathroom, again, staring, either out the window or on the sink, sometimes at themselves. A few weeks ago, we were hit with another surprise, as Tweety is now pregnant. It's not possible for it to be my boy cat because he's neutered, yet here she is, as swollen as ever. Not to mention reckless. Don't climb on the roof like that. Keep in mind that she's only 5 or 6 months. and probably doesn't even realize what's actually happening to her body. Ultimately, we've decided to keep the kittens as long as neither of them nor her are harmed in the process.